Well, so we're going to give you the latest on the aircraft saga. Reverend Ntim Fojo is here. Reverend, so what's the latest?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. So regarding the two suspicious flights from Gran Canaria, a matter which has been in the news, we are going to do evidence-based presentation to dispute the false claims by Kwacho Fosu and to show you the actual itinerary and how the movements of the suspected goods, how it took place.
So Pastor Kochu talked about two scenarios. One plane comes, is faulty. Another plane comes, delivers the parts that takes up what was in the first plane, goes away. Another air-made plane comes, develops a fault. Another one comes. And he has showed us videos of the first one, and then the second one, he showed that the tire is being repaired. So what do you have?
So let's go to the first one. Airmed flight N823 AM.
Okay, so that's
the first one. So
N823 AM.
That's the airmed flights, an air ambulance.
Can anyone watching this video also go to the same site
and
get the same information?
FlightAware. Just go to FlightAware. Is a platform globally that tracks the itinerary and the flight activities of every flight. So you can come along with us.
All right. So where are we?
So now we're here, and the air ambulance, airmed flights N823 AM, first landed from Gran Canaria.
Okay. So this column shows where it came from.
So this is where it came from.
Gran Canaria.
And the time it took
International Airport.
This is the time it took
04:59 a.m. and then landed at 9:02 GMT Kotoka. On what date?
Exactly 20th March.
20th of March. Okay, this conforms with what Felix said anyway.
Absolutely.
All right,
so this is a flight that stayed on for 5 days. Yes. Whatever it may probably allegedly waiting for to carry away or bring it.
This is the air ambulance type plane?
This is air ambulance.
Okay, it came here on 20th and stayed for 5 days.
5 days.
Okay.
And then let's go to International Airport, 1 a.m. to Gran Canaria and arrived Gran Canaria 5.
So it came from Gran Canaria of the island of Spain.
Yes.
And then left to the same place.
Absolutely.
This is the airmed. Okay.
And this is the airmed. Same airmed, Felix says, that was going somewhere and it only arrived in Ghana for a rest stop and developed faults. And the part two,
Felix said it's arrived in Ghana.
It arrived
the
in
document
Ghana.
says it's arrived in Ghana.
And it developed faults for 5 days.
Felix said it went back to Europe. Is that what I said?
Yes, Felix says that it went back to Europe.
And it did go back to Europe, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
But he said that it was going somewhere. And then it developed faults, and when it was fixed, it didn't go where he was going, but it went back to Gran Canaria.
So you are suggesting to us that it wasn't going anywhere. It was coming from Gran Canaria to Ghana and going back to Gran Canaria.
Absolutely.
So any suggestion that it was on its way, something is not correct.
And we're going to show you the next part, the next piece of the evidence will be the activity log on the maintenance history of this same air flight to expose Felix on the so-called maintenance, the tie that says had to be replaced, the oil, and everything he said was repaired on this. We will show in the activity log for Ghanaians to see what happened on this.
Okay, so next, what are we seeing?
So the next one, we're going to the airmed flight 864 AM, which supposedly, according to this is an air ambulance. It's not even supposed to be
the same air ambulance.
Absolutely.
So this is the second one that came.
This is the second one that Kwacho Fosu claims came to bring parts.
Yes,
ties,
he said that.
And goods.
Yeah.
But mind you, it is an air ambulance. It's not supposed to carry cargo.
Okay, let's look at the log first.
Let's look at the itinerary. So,
where's the itinerary?
So 22nd of March.
They're going to pick it up. Can you put the yellow on there? Yeah, there they have it. It's over here.
Yeah.
22nd of March. Yes. Gran Canaria against. That the second plane also came from
Gran Canaria.
Oh, okay. To Kotoka International Airport.
So straight from Gran Canaria to Kotoka International Airport. But
leaving at 1:32 a.m. that time, European time, and then arriving at 5:54 a.m. GMT.
Yes.
Okay.
But you see, the aircraft hub is not in Gran Canaria. So if they really even wanted to bring parts to fix this broken aircraft, they couldn't have brought it from Gran Canaria.
I don't understand that.
You see, every airline has their air hub.
So like British Airways hub is in London.
Absolutely. This airmed, their aircraft hub is in America.
So their home is not Gran Canaria.
No, they don't even have any air hub around aircraft hub around Gran Canaria or anywhere in Africa.
Okay.
So if they really had something to bring, they would have brought it from USA straight to the spot where they need to deliver that part. But again, so it couldn't have come from Gran Canaria to deliver ties and parts and gear, because I'll even show you the picture of this particular airline and the fact that it doesn't even have cargo compartment. But let's stay on the history.
Okay, there's a photograph here.
Okay, so we'll get back to the history. But this is a photograph. So this is the same as the NA2AM. It's the same.
The same design, but this is not the same plane.
Absolutely. The airmed series, the N series, like the NA23AM, they are the same mode. Yes. All the N series are the same.
So what's the point?
So if they had a compartment, a cargo compartment, it would have been here. This is the engine. So the engine would have been shifted this way so that you would have seen a compartment door somewhere here, showing that you can open, just as we have a door here. You would have seen a cargo compartment here where you would open and put those ties and whatever.
So the luggages of the passengers, where did they put it?
So this is not a passenger. This is just for ambulance. So if somebody is unwell, where do they put the luggage? So it is just designed to carry patients. So they carry them on the stretcher, and then they put them in here. And so if there's any tie, supposedly...
No, but if there's luggage, passenger luggage, where does it go? Because the patient that may go with doctors, nurses, somebody else's luggage.
So there's no compartment. So they'll put it somewhere
inside.
Yes. In the
so you mean it doesn't take heavy luggage? It cannot take heavy luggage.
It cannot take heavy.
All right. Okay.
And so there's no compartment showing here that they put those ties in there. And if Kwacho Fosu claims and maintains that they carry that flight, they carry the ties and the parts inside this aircraft, it's violation of the federal laws. And by this, Kwacho Fosu is indicting the airline, and they can face possible prosecution for violation. Because you're not supposed to carry ties inside, only patients. So let's
go on. Let's see whether you can convince us. This one is 50-50, but let's go on. Okay, what next?
So the next one, there's even suspicion on this same flight. Let's check. From Gran Canaria comes to Cocain International Airport, same 22nd March. On that same 22nd March, he leaves Cocain International Airport to Luanda in Angola.
Just near Luanda.
Yes.
Where is near Luanda?
It's in Angola.
A place called near Luanda.
Yeah. That's how they've configured it.
No, say that again. So the plane that came to Accra
on 22nd,
the same day,
left Cocain.
That was not part of Kwacho Fosu's briefing.
It wasn't. He said he came. Kwacho Fosu says that he came on 22nd and stayed on the 25th.
That's what he said. Yes. But you are saying that. Are you sure?
Oh yes. So that is what we are saying. So
and anybody can check this.
Anybody can check it. And from there, he came again to 4 de February.
No, hold on. So Cocain International Airport, same day, goes to near Luanda. It leaves at 7:26 a.m.
Absolutely.
Last seen is 11:51 a.m.
That's it.
At the near Luanda place.
That's it. From there, the same day, so it did a lot of rounds. And then the same day, it went to 4 de Fevereiro in Angola.
No, is it?
It left, yes.
Where is that?
So,
this is
4 de Fevereiro.
4 is here.
Yes.
4 de Fevereiro.
Yeah.
And then let's be clear what we are looking at.
So
this one.
4 de Fevereiro in Angola.
It's in Angola?
Yes. So it left for the
Lanceria.
And then from Lanceria, the next day, which is 23rd, left Lanceria to the same 4 de Fevereiro. So you could see the back and forth.
Oh, this is interesting. So from Accra, from Canary Island to Kotoka to near Luanda to Lanceria and then to 4 de Fevereiro. Same plane.
Absolutely. And from 4 de Fevereiro back to Kotoka on 24th March.
Oh, wow.
All this history contradicts what Kwacho Fosu puts out there. And on 20th...
No, I'm confused. Kwacho Fosu says the plane comes on 20th and it's here till 25th because it developed a fault and then another plane comes. You are suggesting to us that that's untrue.
No, that's not true. And you can play his voice.
Is it time to play his voice yet? Is it time to play it? If it's time to play, let's hear it.
So you can play his voice so that we hear his assertion on the N864.
Whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with ties and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged ties of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Cocain International Airport on 25th March.
It doesn't tell us is that it didn't stay from 20th to 25th.
No,
and when he says it had a technical issue, it may not be true because it moved.
So, Paul, the airmed 823 AM is the one that, according to Kwache Ofosu, had faults, which arrived on 20th March.
Yes.
And was waiting for this new one to bring parts, which I'm disputing that they couldn't have brought parts because it's not designed for compartment.
That's okay, but the other one that he says stayed and you say it didn't stay.
That's this one, N864. It says that it arrived from Luanda on 22nd March, which is false. It arrived from Gran Canaria on 22nd March.
It didn't arrive from Luanda?
No, Luanda. It arrived from Gran Canaria, the same Gran Canaria, straight to Cocain International Airport. It took off 1:32 a.m. from Gran Canaria, arrived at Cocain 5:44,
and took off again
and to
near Luanda. Same day.
Yes, same day.
The plane that he said had developed force and couldn't move.
No,
you are saying
that is not that one is still. So there are two of them. The N823 and N823 AM is the one he claims was faulty and was here.
Okay, so according to your fact, the one that was faulty and was here for 5 days.
That one was here for that 5 days.
Yeah, we need to clarify because I was thinking you said it moved.
No, that one was here.
It was here for 5 days.
Yes.
Okay, which one moved?
So the one that he claims brought cargo, which couldn't have brought cargo because it hasn't have any cargo.
Oh, that's the one you said didn't come from Luanda.
It didn't come from Luanda.
Oh, the second one.
Yes, it came straight from Gran Canaria.
The second one came from Gran Canaria.
It didn't come from Luanda.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And
now
then,
we are getting it.
And then,
okay, let's clarify. One plane, airmed, came. He said developed force and remained here for 5 days.
Yes.
According to your information,
that
it did remain for 5 days.
5 days.
So Kwache Ofosu is right on that one.
But he's wrong
then
about.
He says a second one came in from Luanda to bring parts.
Absolutely.
That's the one you are challenging.
That's the one I'm challenging.
That it didn't come from Luanda.
It didn't come from Luanda. It came from Gran Canaria.
Okay.
And then it didn't stay here till the 25th of March that he claimed.
No, the 25th is the first plane.
No, he also claimed that this same
the second one also stayed to 25th.
Absolutely. And then that's the movement. So you can see from.
But
Gran
you say
Canaria,
that one left Ghana the same day.
It left the same day to Luanda and then back to Quatro de Febro, which is another airport in Angola, and then to Lanseria the next day, which is 23rd March, from Lanseria back to de Febro, and then to Cocain International Airport. It came here 23rd March again.
So it came here twice?
Came here twice.
The same plane?
The same plane came here twice.
In a matter of 3-4 days?
Absolutely. And then stayed here, and then the same 24, on the next day, 24th, it left Gran Canaria.
Oh, this is interesting. So the second plane that the Felix Kwache Ofosu says came and delivered parts and left on the 25th did not. It came here. You don't know whether it delivered parts or not. You are challenging that.
Whatever it brought, Paul, whatever Kwache Ofosu claims it brought couldn't have been ties. That also calls for interrogation. Whatever he claims it brought couldn't have been ties.
Couldn't have been parts.
Couldn't have been parts. And there's going to be a second part which will follow shortly, which is going to detail the maintenance history. We call it activity log. We're going to display that also to dispute the so-called faults that he claimed were on the N823. We will open it up just like we have opened. And
so you can see the maintenance culture.
And we will see.
And if you see that there was no maintenance in Accra, then we are in trouble.
We will fact check it according to the faults that he
so where we are, what Felix Kwache Ofosu has to answer is that we are finding out that the second plane that came perhaps came to Ghana, left Ghana, and came back to Ghana. And it left Ghana, went to Luanda, and went to Lanseria, and went to Quatro de Febro,
and then it came back to Cotoca.
Wow.
And then after
it went
Gran Canaria.
And then the other one, the original one, also left on 25th to Gran Canaria.
Absolutely.
What is your suspicion then?
So this flight also, whatever it brought, since it is not, it couldn't be cargo, it couldn't be parts.
You mean the plane has no capacity
it's not designed
and no licensing and design to carry parts?
It's by
an air ambulance.
It doesn't carry parts. It cannot carry parts. It cannot carry tires or gears or anything. And so if Kwache Ofosu still stands by that, it's in violation of federal law.
But if it cannot carry ties, how can they carry the things you are alleging it carries?
Yeah, but those things are carried illicitly. So if those things are carried, they carry them on a stretcher, like a stretcher. That's how it's packaged, and then it would have been put inside.
Cash and drugs.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
So, back onto
So we are going to the other plane. Is it? Are we done with airmed?
Yes. So now let's go to the cover.
Okay. Yes. The other one. That's the one I like. It's a big, nice plane, orange and blue.
Absolutely. But I want us to hear from Felix what he said about Kavok.
Okay, let's hear what Felix Kwachefusu said about the second set of plane. The Kavak. Is that what it's called?
Kavok Air. Antonov.
Kavok Air Antonov. Let's hear
the
what he said about it.
The CVK 7037. But let us hear the voice of.
Let's hear what he said about it.
The first one is an Antonov flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop. Essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now this plane originated from Luanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now Luanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. The Swiss cargo facility at the Cocain International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning.
Okay, so what's your dispute on that?
So whatever this video is, I will prove to you is a video scene, is a movie scene. This plane is not the CVK 7037.
I don't understand that.
This is another Kavok Air which is currently in Ghana and which they carried, it's all staged.
I don't understand it.
It is all staged because
the aircraft that we saw,
yes,
which has purportedly departed from Ghana.
It's not.
It hasn't departed.
No.
It's here.
The 7037 he's talking about, it never even came here at all. So which video is this?
No, what are you saying?
For the past 3 months, there has been no activity on the so-called 7037.
How do we know that?
So let's check.
Okay, put it in. That's it. They put it in. Okay, let's go to the.
So according to Kwachefusu, this Kavok Air 70 CVK 7037 arrived, according to him, they arrived on 12th March.
12th of March, yes.
So let's check activity. Show flight between 12th of March and purportedly leaving 25th March. Okay. Let us show.
Okay, so let's do that. So that's a calendar.
Yes.
So they go to 12th of March, correct? Yes. Okay, and then they go to
purportedly departing 25th March.
25th of March.
And see if you see any activity on it.
Okay, so let's see. Clicks. What does it say?
And viewers, you can come along with us.
Yeah,
try it also.
Yeah, viewers are looking at it. So what does it say? Where's the information?
No history data in the last 3 months.
Can viewers read this, producer? No history data searched last 3 months. That is the number of the plane.
Absolutely.
No history data.
Yes.
So why do you say it's in Ghana if there's no history data?
So there's another type of this currently in Ghana. Yes, there's another type. This 7037 hasn't been in Ghana.
Maybe he got the number wrong. Maybe no. It's the same type of plane, but they got the number wrong.
But it says that there were 2 planes. One came, developed fault,
yes,
and another had to come,
yes, precisely,
and bring parts.
So which one are we searching? The one that came or the one that had to come?
So the one that, both of them. This first one that he said came and they didn't have certification, and
yes,
and so
and needed certification.
He
came from Angola.
They didn't have certification there, and had to go to come to Ghana before it gets the certification to Europe.
But whilst was in Ghana developed the fault.
And whilst in Ghana developed the fault, there are 2 falsehoods I must dispel. The first one is that it never came to Ghana because there's no history on it. The last 3 months, the last scene of this flight is December 18th, 2024. That was the last activity ever seen. It's it's at the time. Let me just confirm.
Which country?
But we can even check it right here.
So we don't need to do much. But so what we're saying here, and what we are putting on
the last time,
what we have, you can cross check it. You can
the
verify
last time it flew was from Malaga, Spain to Cairo, Egypt
in 2024,
December 18, 2024. from Spain to Egypt.
That's the last.
That's the last.
That's the last journey the plane did
activity
on its record.
That's the last activity.
It hasn't come to Ghana.
It hasn't come to Ghana. The last that ended in Africa was in Egypt, from Spain to Egypt, December 18th, 2024. So let us check the second flight. That was the replacement.
Yes,
that
yes.
came. Let us check.
Let's please put the number up. So that's
CVK 7007.
7007.
But
Okay.
we may even want to hear confirmation from him.
No, let's do this. Okay, yeah.
Great.
People can always check the press conference.
Yeah.
So this one was the view more flight history. That's where we're going. Okay.
Yes.
So what date did he say, and what are we putting in?
So he says that this flights. Let me just.
Yeah.
Let's pause.
So we are trying to get the flight dates and the details for viewers so we can look at it. It's getting very interesting, isn't it? But
So-
okay, do you have it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So this flight came here on the 15th of March, and you can cross check when he says arrive here.
What did he say? You just tell us.
So we'll just cross
Okay,
check.
should we listen
Yes,
to
so
Felix?
let's listen
Okay,
to
let's
him,
listen
and
to
then we'll
Felix
fact
on
check
this
it.
one, the time the flights came in. If you have the video, let's play. Listen to the government information minister.
Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEZ, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo.
So he says he came here.
Well,
So
okay, yes. So that's what he said. He came here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one indeed arrived here 15th of March from Harare International Airport to Kotoka.
Oh, it didn't come from Luanda.
No, it didn't come from
Harare, Zimbabwe.
Harare is Zimbabwe.
Harare, Zimbabwe was never mentioned in anything that Felix
It
said.
has never come up anywhere.
No, he has never said. But this is the record.
Absolutely, that's the record. 77 CVK 7007. That is it. And now, this flight is still in Ghana.
Oh, that's interesting.
This flight hasn't left.
This plane is still in
This
Accra.
plane is still in Accra.
So you're guessing that the plane from which they filmed
So
the
that is a
activity?
film. That is the scene for their staged evidence.
So this is the plane that was filmed.
So this
is still in Ghana.
This is the Carvolk Air that is still in Ghana. And then I dare Civil Aviation Authority and Ghana Airport to produce it. They should check all the hangars. It is there, hasn't left. The records are here. This is flight aware. Hasn't left anywhere. So they went onto that flight. You see, when you see that video, you could see clearly a stage thing, because which airline?
I was concerned about who filmed it.
Yes.
And why did they film it?
Which, in the normal practice, you've been the board chair of Ghana Airports Company. You know the practices at the aviation. When an airline lands and whether it's coming for maintenance or it's coming to replace, do we have, this whole thing filming? Or did they have some intelligence that something was going to happen, for which all of them assembled, like over a dozen of inspectors, like over 20 inspectors? You saw them in the video wearing their jack vests, and then to stage that they came and inspected it, because and then they filmed it. Is it a standard practice that you film planes that are arriving as replacement? So whatever, if that video was true, so whatever it is, my conclusion is that this is the same flight which is still here. So national security, Ghana Airport, civil aviation, let us have this checked, and then flight aware will not lie. You're asking for evidence. That is it.
But you're a member of parliament. You can put an urgent question for the Minister for Transport, Minister for Defense, and then they can answer it.
We will go the full haul. You see, everything we have, from the way I've been sequencing it, I drop it piece by piece, piece by piece, but the whole fact is together. But it's sequenced. And right here on your platform, we're going to unravel it all. They dared me for evidence. And that is the path we're going to go.
So you're going to come back with us with the
maintenance
culture,
maintenance activity, the activity
to
log,
confirm whether the plane was maintained here or not.
Absolutely, whether it had any fault.
But anytime there's a maintenance, it's logged.
It is logged, because if you're a pilot, if you get onto the flight, the first thing you check is the activity log, to check the maintenance history. When the last time it was fixed, whether the time was changed, the date, where it was done, the gear, the oil change, you will see everything.
Wow.
And Ghanaians will be shocked.
Okay, Reverend.
What we're doing.
We'll leave it here for now. We'll leave it here.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, check, cross-check, fact-check, and tell us what you find.